Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Nick Cage Fight podcast, where we're still stuck talking about the 9/11 movie. The 9/11 movie, because apparently they made a fucking ton of these. I'm one of your hosts, Josh, joined as always by Rich and Ryan, because misery loves company. How are we doing, guys?
I'm currently working on my spec script for The Ghosts of 9/11, a horror film.
I canceled out watching this movie by watching Godfather Part 2 today. So
That's a good fucking cancel out. I canceled mine out with a Jet Li action movie called The
I
Black Mask
saw
last night. That movie fucking rules. Did you know that it's an unofficial fan film about Kato from the Green Hornet?
Huh.
Yeah.
That makes
Nice.
a
I didn't
lot
know
of
that.
sense, actually.
Jet Li's a really good fucking Kato.
There you go.
not surprised.
I mean, yeah, he's really picking up that fucking Bruce Lee energy in it. It's great.
So would a sequel to 9/11 be 10/11 or 9/12?
9/12.
9/12.
What about 10/12?
No, because that's like a
No.
whole month later. You
We're
gotta have it
counting
the
up
day
both
after.
numbers? That's insanity.
Yeah.
Then I would say 9/12.
No, it'd be 9/11 too.
9/11 too. Well, the good thing about that is you could just turn the 11 into Roman
Yes.
numerals, and it works both ways. And the Roman numerals are also the towers. It's
Oh yeah, no, that's graphic design, baby.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's my passion.
there you go.
The towers have to be Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about the Charlie Sheen 9/11 movie.
I guarantee it's more watchable than this.
You mean the Oprah Winfrey joint?
Yes.
Let's see what other 9/11 the movies exist.
I am very curious.
I'm worried about what we're gonna find because that's easy fodder for Patreon episodes.
Oh my
where we do
God,
a
25 movies
9/11
about
-a-thon.
9/11 that will move you to tears.
Oh no.
oh, wait, real quick, because
The first one mentioned is World Trade Center, by the way, so this is not a valid list.
I was
No.
planning on referencing this film, and I don't know if you guys are gonna get it, but Rich, you tell me if this is on that list. Is a movie called Remember Me on that list?
Let me see. Hang on. So then we have United 93, The Guys, Extremely Loud and Extremely Close.
Okay, this
Rain Over Me, which was not a bad movie, I don't think.
Fucking Wikipedia has 25th Hour, the Spike Lee joint, listed as a 9/11 movie, and I don't remember that being the case.
It's about a guy going to prison for
Prison,
being a
yeah.
drug dealer. Did 9/11 happen during that?
Worth, Zero Dark 30, bad movie.
Bad movie.
Come From Away, which is a Tony thing. The Space Between, Windows on the World. The 25th Hour.
Yeah,
That's
weird, right?
Weird. That's weird.
I really don't remember that having anything to do with 9/11. And I liked that movie.
I did too. It's about a guy who's going to prison and then he's coming to terms with it in his last 24 hours of freedom, and he has his friends beat the shit out of him because he's too pretty, so he won't last.
Yeah. Okay, so then Man in Red Bandana, American Sniper, The Hurt Locker. Oh, so they're also just talking about movies that happened because of 9/11.
Okay.
Flight 93, Rebuilding Hope, The Children of 9/11, The Report,
Like the Children of the Corn.
Hey, there's a
The
Bollywood movie
Second
about
Day.
9/11.
The Hamburg Cell, In the Shadow of the Towers, 9/11 15 years later, Ash Tuesday. That's actually not a bad title. 102 Minutes That Changed America, Dear John. That's it.
So
Yeah,
Remember Me is not on that list.
It was not.
Okay. So
it is on the Wikipedia list that I've got pulled up. But
okay.
I'm also noticing that the majority of these 9/11 movies are actually about just post 9/11 America and not actually about the attacks.
Yeah.
That's probably more relevant.
Yeah.
But just real quick about Remember Me, it is a coming of age romantic drama film. I don't know anything else about this movie except for at the end when one of the romantic leads leaves, he goes and gets on a plane, and then the dramatic reveal is that he gets on a plane and it's on 9/11. That's the end of the film, so far as I am aware. So I was just curious if that counted as a 9/11 movie.
I'll count it.
It does, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Ooh, buddy. Okay, so yikes. Sorry, I got caught up looking at the plot of that movie. So, all right, where we last left off, 9/11 had happened already. That was the big twist. And our main characters, McLaughlin and Imeno, are trapped in the rubble. We pick up with a scene of them stuck shouting to each other. McLaughlin keeps trying to radio in for help. They talk about the need to stay awake. And then this is another insane thing. I'm not saying that this didn't happen. I'm just saying the way they portrayed it was bonkers. Fire starts just erupting in the rubble around Jimeno, but like in the way that have you ever been on a roller coaster at maybe like a Six Flags where they blow fire like across the tracks before you go barreling through?
Once or twice, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. That's what this fire is. They just had like random hidden spouts spurting fire throughout this set piece. McLaughlin starts just screaming at one point a lot, and then Paluzzo's dropped gun just starts going off, presumably from the heat. Now, I didn't bother looking this up because it seemed like an absolute waste of my time.
No, it just reminded me of that scene from The Office when he starts screaming, "The fire's shooting at us."
The fire's shooting at us.
I'm looking up if hot can get gun going.
Well, no, that is absolutely true. My question is, at what temperature do 9mm rounds start cooking off in a gun? And can that happen 5 foot from a human that is still alive? You know what I mean?
400 degrees.
So a human can't survive 400 degrees, right?
No.
That's my next question for my good friend, Mr. Google.
No, we cannot. We are fleshy beings.
So presumably, right, a gun 5 feet away from me could not possibly get hot enough to start cooking off rounds, and I would still be alive to worry about it, right?
Right, you
It would
should
appear
be dead.
so. Yeah, from what I can tell, in a burning building or a deep mine, adults have survived up to 10 minutes at 300 degrees. So not quite there.
Well, there you go. So yeah, so this is bizarre. Cut back to Allison. Now we're going to be spending a fair amount of time with the wives from here on out. Allison is trying to call the police station to get word about Jimeno, but no one knows where he is.
It would have been good if they had actually established these characters at all, even a little bit before, the shit went down. Just a tiny little bit of characterization would have been nice.
No, you got to get right to the planes. Like
Yeah,
7 minutes in.
You want to waste time with that shit instead of like a Jaws shadow of the plane on the building? Where would we fit that in, Ryan?
Yeah,
if we were going to try and establish these characters
at the 14-minute mark, not the 7-minute mark.
What would the very, very famous movie Titanic would have been like if they didn't sink the boat immediately? Huh? What would that have been?
Boring, just like it is now.
So this is where we get to, in my opinion, the only, and I think unintentionally, subversive element of this plot, and consequently the only interesting story in the whole thing, which is Michael Shannon's character shows up.
Love Michael Shannon's character.
We get to see him walk out of like the bathroom in like just a regular corporate office building. He's in a suit, and his coworkers are gathered around a TV, and they see 9/11 happening. And he walks up, looks at it, looks at them, and goes, "You guys don't even know this country's at war," and then walks out. Like, what the fuck is going on? He goes immediately, as one does, to church, telling the pastor that he feels the need to go down to New York. And the pastor is just like, I guess, like, if that's what God's telling you, man. Like, maybe do that. And then I think, sorry. At this point, we cut back to the McLaughlin house. John's brother comes by to tell Donna they have confirmation that John went into the buildings, but they don't know anything else. His brother showing up is significant because we get some information from the kids saying that John and his brother have a deal where if either one of them dies in the line of duty, the other will go and tell their family. So this is what the McLaughlin family is fearing when he pulls up, but they just learn that they don't really know anything.
Hold on, because we're missing an important subplot here. Because right before this, the son is just like, does dad know it's my birthday this Saturday? And the mom, without being like, your dad is in 9/11, like, and you're worried about your fucking birthday. She like tries to calm him down. She's like, hey, look, your dad, he told me, he promised not to tell you, but he got you playoff tickets for the Yankees. And he's like, really cool. And then his family just rags on him for the next hour of the movie about like, you don't care about your dad. You just want those Yankees tickets.
Yeah, the whole rest of the film, the kid's like, we got to go find dad. And everybody else in the family is like, you just want to go to the fucking playoffs. It's like, you don't even care that your dad's in 9/11.
And he's like yelling at them, like, you don't even care. You don't even care about that. And they're just like, you just want to go see Derek Jeter. Which also, real quick, another thing that bugged me from like, we passed this an hour ago, but it's one of the first scenes. They're in a subway and there's like two dudes, like two strangers randomly talking, which never fucking happens in a New York City subway. But
oh yeah, and the one guy's like, I was there, and
like,
they're talking sports.
Yeah, but the one dude's just like, oh yeah, this Jeter kid looks like he might be like pretty good. Oliver Stone, watch a sport for once in your life. Derek Jeter at this point had already like won an MVP in 3 World Series. Like, the fuck you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
So, we do get here's our bit of topical cameo. Giuliani's on TV. Rudy Giuliani, the guy who's in trouble with the legal system. That
Little
guy.
Rudy.
So I had a little oh shit moment with that. Then we cut back to Jimeno and McLaughlin talking to each other about their families to try and keep them awake as they're trapped under the rubble. Jimeno realizes there is a pipe hanging above him and just starts pulling it and letting it go so it pings. And McLaughlin's like, hell yeah, keep doing that. That might help something. Meanwhile, back at McLaughlin's house, they all just keep watching the news and just sort of generally panicking. We cut back to Michael Shannon's character, who is getting a haircut and then dresses in fatigues and then goes to New York and keeps telling people he's a Marine. And so they just let him through the gates to just wander through the
9/11
rubble from 9/11, which is insane, right? This is insane because he's not active duty. He doesn't show up and is like, I'm volunteering. I used to be a Marine. He's just like, I'm with the Marines. And they're like, all right, fucking go ahead, guy. So that's crazy. Cutting back to Jimeno and McLaughlin, they're still talking to each other and another explosion and collapse occurs. They start praying and screaming to God for forgiveness as this is happening. But they both survive. And it looks like this latest rumble was Tower 7 collapsing at this point in time. I'm not actually overly familiar with the timing of the architectural issues during 9/11. Tower 7, that's the one that was like just fire damage brought it down, right?
I didn't look this part up.
Yeah,
to be honest with you,
it's not important. I remembered the important part is that 9/11 happened. I never forgot.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to.
You can't. You gotta never forget.
It just makes me think of first of all, rest in peace, Pee Wee Herman. But the Alamo bit, if that was written most recently, they're like, do you remember anything? It would have been, I remember 9/11.
Yeah.
So Michael Shannon is just wandering through the chaos around Ground Zero. This is where in my notes, I said, sorry, but this is the only halfway compelling character in this whole thing so far. He just seems like a legitimate crazy person, which is actually 100% accurate. That bears out through the rest of this story. Back at the McLaughlin house, the kid who really, really wants to go to the playoffs has just gotten in the car and refuses to get out, insisting that the family go and look for their dad. Donna tells him she'll go, but he has to get out of the car.
Well, they got to look
Um,
for those Yankees tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
In my notes, I also specifically put pausing to scream for a very long time about how painful this is to watch. I don't even remember what the runtime is from here on out, but I must have looked at it and just gone, Jesus Christ.
That last hour felt like it was 3 hours.
Yeah. Back to Michael Shannon. He's wandering through the rubble, calling out that he's a United States Marine. It's also really funny that that's the primary thing that he says throughout most of the movie. He's like,
I'm a Marine.
I'm a Marine. Yeah, I'm a Marine.
If you can hear me, yell or bang on something. I am a Marine.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying. And
honestly, not as cool as the dude from Wisconsin who's just like, eat this good bratwurst.
It's the best bratwurst you'll ever have.
I disagree. Probably, I make a damn fine bratwurst.
I'm gonna have to check you on that. Mainly just because I want a good bratwurst.
I do a nice beer braised bratwurst.
I'm down. We're gonna have to get together for that.
Oh,
so at this point in the rubble, Jimeno and McLaughlin are sort of hallucinating neon atomic Jesus. Did anybody else find this bizarre?
Yes, I did. It's like a sad Jesus.
It's like Fallout Jesus. It's just a pitch black silhouette behind what I can only assume is a zoomed in mushroom cloud. It
looked like something out of Mad God.
It's an aggressive, destructive Jesus. I've never seen him depicted that way before. But Jimeno tells McLaughlin, "Hey, I saw Jesus, and he had a bottle of water, and I could have drank that water, but I didn't drink that water." And McLaughlin's like, "I think you might be,
I think you might be
losing
dying.
it." Michael Shannon actually stumbles across another Marine that I can only. So this is what I don't understand. I am of the opinion that Michael Shannon's character is there completely illegitimately.
Yeah.
And has lied his way through the cordon. But he runs into somebody who is actually there from like the National Guard or whatever helping, and he links up with them. And they stumble across Jimeno and McLaughlin. I think it actually was the pipe pinging that they heard initially. They're like, all right, well, we got to call this in. They can't get service directly to the call center or something. And they mention it something with like too much cell phone traffic. So Michael Shannon calls his sister in Baltimore to call the command center, which somehow bypasses this issue that they're having. But they do explicitly state, like, we can't leave. If we leave, we're never going to find this place again. And then Michael Shannon turns directly to the camera and says, "Listen to these ads."
Michael Shannon's really a bro for hitting us like right at the exact moment.
Yeah, no. And it was entirely appropriate for the movie because this was just trying to do some cash grabbing on the backs of people impacted by 9/11. So it all works out. It all ties in.
Absolutely. It's a Coca-Cola ad where the two towers are two Coke cans.
Yeah, basically. Shit. You'd have to twist my arm to make me watch this movie again, but I kind of want to go through and just list every brand name that I saw in the film.
I saw Express
and shit. I saw Express. Yeah, this had a lot of product placement for something about a national tragedy.
A little ghoulish.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, they may have known because like it did not do a huge. I mean, look, a movie about 9/11. 5 years after 9/11, I'm surprised it was not state mandated to see this movie.
Yeah.
It only tripled its budget.
Jesus Christ, I don't want to hear that. That's terrible. That is encouraging bad behavior.
I figured that this movie would have done like 500 million. It did not. Because it's a 9/11 movie when Americans were all still like, yeah, don't never forget fucking 9/11 and
never forget your mama's spaghetti.
So
and I remember Nick Cage from those action movies. I like him.
We missed a call out in housekeeping that's about to come back and slap us in the face. By the way, I forgot about this. So
I still
Uh,
don't remember whatever it is that you're talking about.
yeah, you'll realize it when I say it. So Michael Shannon calls it in. Donna is driving with McLaughlin's brother when he gets a call that they found John. Allison gets a call saying that they found Will Jimeno. That's Will's his first name as well. And then we jump back to the spot where the rescue is on. And oh shit, the lead rescue guy is fucking Steven Dorff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah, sure.
How do we forget Steven Dorff, known for his famous role in the first Blade movie? That's the main one I got. Oh, he was also in
Yeah.
Deuces Wild, which was halfway decent. I like that one. And he was in the most recent season of True Detective.
And he
And
was
that is-
in. Okay, I got two for him. He's
He
in
was
Cecil B. Demented, which is a movie
Oh
I love.
yeah.
And he's also in The Gate, which is a pretty good child-friendly horror movie.
He was also in I Shot Andy Warhol.
Oh, good for him. I hope more people shoot Andy Warhol, even though he's already dead.
I mean, we could just dig him up.
Could dig him up.
When we get arrested, we could claim it's art.
Yeah, yeah.
And just be like,
I'm
hey,
just
we're
saying.
just abiding by the Scum Manifesto.
So Donna arrives at the police station and learns that they were misinformed because they were told that they found John and John walked out fine, unscathed. That is obviously not the case.
And then everyone clapped.
But that they did find him and he is still technically alive, if you call that living. So we go back to the rescue attempt, and they're using the jaws of life to try and like lever the block of concrete off of Jimeno.
Mhm.
It's not going super great, and Jimeno begs them to just cut off his leg in order to clear their way to get down to McLaughlin, because they're pretty sure that McLaughlin is in worse shape than Jimeno. The workers are like, first of all, that's not how any of this works. Your leg isn't blocking us from getting to him, and we're not going to cut your leg off down here. That's fucking crazy. Allison and her family get to Bellevue to wait for Will, and they pass Donna like ships in the night. I think it was supposed to be semi-poignant that both of these women are going through a similar experience and they have no knowledge of each other, but it did, because like Ryan called out, they do no real setting up of these characters. There is really no emotional attachment. So this scene where they pass each other means nothing, really.
None of this means anything.
No,
It's all just
it
pictures on a
doesn't.
screen.
Also,
Lost like tears in the rain.
Rich, you might be able to help me out on this one, because I thought they were setting up another weird plot point here where at the police station they tell Donna, oh, he's going to Bellevue. And at the rescue scene, they say something else. They don't say Bellevue. It's like Sister of Mercy or something like that. So I was like, oh shit, did they send them to a wrong hospital? Like, that's boring drama.
Hey, they sent him to
But-
the hospital for bringing out the dead.
But
Yeah.
like I
The
don't
crackhead
remember what
hospital.
it was, but
It
was
starts
like
out with
that,
love
is that
and it
like
ends
supposed
with
to be
mercy.
like a wing of Bellevue or something?
I have
Or-
no idea. Again,
Okay.
at this point, I was actively blocking out this movie.
Fine, fair. Either way, it doesn't matter. Either I didn't understand what they were saying, or it was another dropped plot point that they didn't care to follow up on.
Yeah, I feel like
Oh,
if this was
li-
left untethered, it would have gone 3 fucking hours long.
Yeah, so sorry. In my notes, it was like Liberty or something. Is Liberty a hospital that's different than Bellevue?
I don't know. New York has like so
I'm
many
just throwing
hospitals.
shit at the wall at this point. I don't know. Anyway,
Don't
So,
care, doesn't matter.
it doesn't. It
Doesn't
really
matter.
doesn't.
This movie's
because
bad.
they went to the right hospital anyway, so it doesn't matter. Back at the site of the rescue, Will has been freed and pulled out of the rubble. We get Ryan's favorite part of the film here, where they're carrying him out on a stretcher, and he says, "What does he say?"
He says, "Where'd the buildings go?"
And soon will be my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, one of my favorite bits in the movie, the only bit of comedy that is like completely out of place in my opinion, because I think they were trying to be funny here, is about to come up. So They make their way down to John, and then we cut back to the hospital where Will has been brought in. Allison gets to see him because they're working on him before sending him up to the OR. This is Rich's favorite part, where she's like, "Oh my God, he's breathing rocks, or he's coughing up rocks."
He's becoming the thing.
Yep.
Yeah, and he has
Get
like
them
just,
Yancey Street boys out here.
he has a bunch of Pena has a bunch of like
Gravel rocks,
aquarium
basically.
pebbles in his mouth. Look,
For
it
no
makes-
reason. For no reason. It was not there when he was like just chilling down there with Nick Cage talking fine. Now he's all rock mouth.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but they did not set this up at all.
Right. And that's what I was thinking. It's like it makes sense that like he's been breathing in bullshit for, I think they were down there for 16 hours. Like he's been breathing in bullshit for
Yikes.
16 hours. Lord knows like what was getting in his mouth and shit. It makes sense, but it's never brought up because Oliver Stone is not a real filmmaker.
No.
So,
This
he
podcast
has-
is officially anti Oliver Stone. And I do challenge you to one of those like celebrity boxing matches. I will do no training because you
I'd
are
watch
like
that.
70.
just watch you beat an old man on TV.
He's got hollow bones like a bird.
So, the Will and Allison have this back and forth about what they're going to name their unborn kid, which again, no poignancy because there's no real setup for any of these characters at all. So I kind of skip right over that. And we cut back down to the rubble where John is being worked on by the rescue team, and he is hallucinating. And this is the bit where I think they're trying to be funny, and it's incredibly out of place given the tone and tenor of the rest of the film. But he hallucinates seeing Donna there, and he apologizes to her. He's like, "I'm so sorry." And she's like, "No, John, you have to survive. The kitchen isn't even finished being redone yet." And he's like, "All right, can we get off the kitchen? Like, I'm stuck in 9/11 right now. Is this really that important?" And that's all we get from this flashback. It's crazy and out of place. Do you even remember this part, Ryan?
No, not at all. Not even a little bit.
It's absurd.
This movie's so forgettable. Everything about it just it slewed off of my mind like butter on a hot pan the entire time.
I agree with you. I know this was made before this would be possible, but it feels like you had an AI write a story about 9/11, like a screenplay about 9/11.
Yeah, the amount of like personal strength it takes to summon up memories of this movie is just unfathomable to me. I'm there's a lot of effort going into just remembering that anything happened here. Because so much of it is just dudes yelling at each other in a dark room that's poorly fucking like poorly shot, poorly lit. Everything is just bad.
Yeah, and the editing, I've already said it. The editing in this is atrocious.
God awful.
Who edited this
So-
movie?
John is finally freed from the rubble and pulled out. Donna sees John as he's being wheeled into the hospital, and he tells her that she's what kept him alive. At this point, the rescue team, like the medic who showed up to help Steven Dorff, who also is a recognizable actor, but I can't place his name off the top of my head, so you're just going to have to take my word for that. This is where we run into the Sheboygan boys again. They're making bratwurst in the
Yeah.
rubble of the train towers and just
Sheboygan,
assuring people that this is the best brat they'll ever have. We do get a final check-in on Michael Shannon, who's telling work he's not going to make it in today. And he's not sure when he'll be back because they're going to need good men to avenge this, which was a holy shit moment for me until we get the last bit of postscript about this character, which is going to probably blow your minds because it blew mine. From here, we cut to 2 years later. And there is an annual barbecue being thrown for McLaughlin and Imeno. We get a voiceover from McLaughlin saying that 9/11 showed everyone what people are capable of, the good and the bad. terrible writing. There's just
Yeah.
no weight behind this. It's all trite nonsense. Now, before the credits start rolling at this point, we do get stats on everybody who died at 9/11. I didn't write those down because it's depressing, and this was already a bad movie. So I'm not trying to pile on. But we do also learn, and I did not know this, that only 20 people were pulled from the wreckage alive, and that includes McLaughlin and Imeno.
Who were 18 and 19, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is the most insane postscript, and they saved it for the end. We learned that Michael Shannon's character re-enlisted and then served 2 tours in Iraq.
Yeah.
Not Afghanistan. Iraq, a country
Iraq,
that had
yeah.
nothing to do with 9/11.
I hated this movie so much.
What's the difference?
No, I will say that the bit with Michael Shannon's character, like, I don't want to say that they were aware of what they were doing with that one, but goddamn, if they stumbled their way into making a legitimate foil character for all of the patriotic fervor nonsense and the atrocities that were committed utilizing that,
Yeah.
that's kind of genius, which is why I'm pretty positive that they didn't intend to do that.
Oh, that nothing in this movie that worked was intentional. And by that, I mean, where do buildings go?
Where
On
the
top of
buildings
you.
go was,
Where the
was pretty
buildings
good.
go? That was not intentional. I think that was meant to be a heartbreaking fucking single line, and it's just the goofiest shit.
It's bad.
It's all bad.
This was a bad movie that was a soulless cash grab and insane pacing. If you can't tell, we're like halfway through our second episode on it and done the fucking movie.
I was gonna say,
So-
you know what else is soulish cash grab? Nobody.
No, I get what you're
Yes.
saying. I was waiting for Josh to do something.
Oh, I wasn't sure if we were gonna plug the Patreon first, or if we, because like if we're gonna lead in with soulless cash grab, let's start with ours and then we'll get
Yeah,
to
that's fair.
BYU.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Lancaster.
patreon.com/Nick Cage Fight. You give us money, we give you things. Ooh, but what are those things, you ask? Don't worry, I'll tell you. $1 a month gets you every single episode the day that it airs without ads. For those of you who are bad at math, that is $12 a year.
That's enough for us to
That's the
split
joke, that's
one
it.
cup of coffee every 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah, or if we want to be real
And
cheap
on
about
average,
it, we can like
3 cents a day.
yeah, let's
Well,
think about it. You're gonna
compound
give us
interest, man.
that's where it'll get you. That's where we make the money. I put all of our listen, me personally, like I could take the Patreon money and the ad money and like put it into like a high yield savings account or anything like that. No. I have put all of our money and have done an ICO. For those of you not, tech savvy or anything, that's an initial coin offering. I have started Nick Cage Coin.
All right,
Get
I'm
some
off the
cage coins
podcast.
going. Ah,
I was gonna put it in Trump Coin, but I think I may have missed the boat on that. I think I may have missed
Yeah,
the
I
boat on
think
that
so.
scam.
is that still a thing?
I'm sure there's a website that'll tell me. Hang on.
I mean, didn't we find out that he actually minted some coins of his face? Or
Yeah,
somebody did.
yeah. Somebody definitely did that.
Some enterprising individual.
Oh, you can buy Donald Trump pure silver 1 ounce rounds for $30.
Yep, those are what I was talking about.
Isn't there a crypto one? But anyway, we're off the path here. I'll listen to this ad for BYU.
Or Trump crypto. It might be that. Who knows?
Could be that.
And we're back.
So now I'm looking at Trump Coin, the cryptocurrency. Oh my God, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Funnier than
So-
Young Frankenstein?
Yeah, there hasn't been like
Nah,
a
I
whole
Gotta
lot
be
of
pretty
believe
fucking
that.
funny.
there hasn't been a whole lot of like movement on this. There's been no movement on it recently. The coin is currently traded at 1/10 of a penny.
Sick.
I might have to buy a bunch of that before like the indictments come down and shit.
With its
And
it has like random spikes. Like there was a spike from it was chilling at like a penny, and
You
it
want to give me
spiked
some
up.
dates?
It spiked up for 2 days. Hang on. The spike is so weird I can't even like isolate it. There we go. May 14th, 2020, it spiked to 318, the highest it ever was.
That was let's see.
Oh, COVID.
That was when he departed the White Horse to tour a medical equipment distribution center in Pennsylvania during COVID. That's the only thing I can find on that date.
Because it spikes then.
Let me try the day before and see if maybe this is like in response to something else.
It had a slight spike.
Yeah, that was
January
the declaration
6th.
of the national emergency.
Okay.
So people bought Trump coin in response to national responses to COVID.
Apparently, yeah.
People are fucking weird, man.
People are stupid.
On January 6th, it had a slight spike from 1 cent to 2 cents. And then it
Okay,
had a
all right.
spike February
That was the
1st.
insurrection spike?
That was the
Then you had
insurrection
that coup
spike.
money.
Then there was a spike on February 1st, 2021, up to 27 cents. Then we have another huge spike randomly on October 29th of 2021 to $1.24. And then it just shot right back down to the 1/10 of a cent that it's been at ever since. So
Yeah, because everybody who had one when it was $1.20, whatever, unloaded it immediately.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so
sorry,
I know,
everyone.
I know we don't want to talk about this film anymore. We've explained why it's bad from a general cinematic perspective and storytelling perspective. But can we just take a moment to talk about the grotesquerie of trying to cash in on this in such an incompetent way?
Oh, yeah, it was awful for
Yeah.
even propaganda.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you appreciate the shameless sort of cash grabs that Trump brought to the table. Could you imagine if Trump was president during 9/11?
Oh, absolutely. He'd have a golden throne.
Yeah, we wouldn't
Yeah.
have been able to shake that one, huh?
No, absolutely not.
He would have capitalized in a way that Bush was simply incapable of.
Yeah, yeah.
Although now I'm picturing him doing story time and being told, and he's like, "My God, I'm hearing this for the first time." The Ruth Bader Ginsburg speech that he gave. But yeah, that might have ended up causing more damage
That would have
globally.
destroyed democracy.
Yeah, and fucked up the rest of the planet a bit more than Bush did, despite the fact that and again, I not expressing any sort of support for Trump, but when all of the heavy duty liberals I knew who were talking about Trump being the worst president ever, it just reminded them of some of the shit that happened under Bush's watch.
Mm-hmm.
As just like a go-to, and primarily the Iraq war and the fallout from that. And
Was
just going,
this
I'm just talking about in death toll.
Was this like
obviously
the era of like when liberals for like 3 months like kind of fell in love with George Bush? Like, why can't we have Republicans back who are like George Bush? Do you remember that shit?
So I remember people saying dumb shit like that when Trump was in office, but I don't remember what I was a bit less attentive at that point because of how young I was. But I do not remember people explicitly singing George Bush's praises outside of the A, Republicans, and B, the insane evangelicals.
Yeah.
They went bonkers after 9/11. Sort of cementing that unholy union between that religious voting bloc and any Republican candidate, regardless of shared religious dogma. But yeah, no, this on top of being a bad movie, the intention behind it seems kind of gross. What was the rating on this, Rich? Did you take a look at the Rotten Tomatoes at all? Do we have
It's like a 66%, which again for a 9/11 movie, like I do feel
I don't
like
know. That
that is
seems high to
low.
me.
it does.
I feel like it's low for a 9/11 movie. And like again, if I was just a normie 50-year-old uncle watching this, I'd be like, yeah, okay, it was fine, and then like never watch it again.
I don't know. It was so aggressively
So
bad. I don't even
fucking
think
boring.
yeah,
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
even think an uncle would have the attention span for this. I think they would consider it pretentious.
yeah, yeah, like Zero Dark 30 and shit, or like something with the military being like, we got to respond to this, or even if they went more dramatic with it instead of leaning into and failing to hit the human element of the stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is a flop with the Facebook uncles on top of that.
I mean, it's got
You know?
66. It's nobody gave it a like everybody seemed too scared to give it a bad review. Let me
Any
go on
decent comments on it?
I'm going
I'm
on
showing one
actual
by
Rotten
Mr.
Tomatoes
B
real
that
quick.
just says underrated movie, comma, would recommend. No period.
Terrible.
Incorrect spacing.
Terrible. How do you fuck up spacing?
I don't know.
Oh, the audience score is 60%. That sucks.
Yeah.
What's the critic score?
It's 66,
66.
but I want to see what the critic score was back in 2006.
Probably higher.
Actually, there are a decent amount. I mean, it looks like everybody's giving it bad reviews or people who are not American. I would perhaps say un-American.
No.
International Press Academy, it felt like an overall TV movie. I don't care that it's
Correct.
unpatriotic. Hey, I
Correct,
defended
yes.
Alexander. The movie's real mistake is to take as its focus the single least unusual aspect of September 11th, the fact that it murdered and wounded loved their what? This dude even write?
4 stars. Never forget 9/11. ...
So he gave it 4 stars.
4 stars.
Oh man.
Strip away its 9/11 backdrop, and Oliver Stone's World Trade Center is little more than a primetime domestic potboiler about a couple of NYC cops buried under rubble.
Correct. That is accurate and to the point.
The whole movie has a Lifetime Movie of the Week feel.
Yep.
Terrible cast for a serious movie. Action star Nicolas Cage and comedy genius Michael Pena. Great actors, just not fit, I think, for this role. 1.5 stars.
Wait, 4.5 stars?
1.5 stars.
Oh, 1.5.
1.5
say that
stars.
doesn't track.
World Trade Center is about 9/11 in the same sense that Gone with the Wind is about the Civil War. Just shut up, Ken. Fucking idiot.
So that and this is a apropos of nothing, but do you guys remember the rash of people who lied about being involved in 9/11?
Yeah, the dude from the League.
The dude from the League who kept that shit up for a hot minute.
Until like very recently, I believe.
I feel like it was at least after this movie came out. I'm surprised he didn't try and get
I think it was in
in
2010. I think it was like I think it was either right before or after the League ended.
Yeah.
So like that would be like 2015, 2016.
And then there was a whole documentary. I don't know if you guys watched about a lady who like straight up went on essentially like a fundraising or all expenses paid like talking tour.
Yeah. I do
who was
recall
never
this.
there.
Oh, that's a hell of a scam.
It is, but also at the same time, this is kind of a scam as well. I mean, I don't know the details of whatever deal was worked out, but people getting trapped in the rubble, getting paid for their life story, I'm not opposed to. But also, this was just a bad film. I would personally have been hard pressed to agree to something like this because the portrayal is just not particularly flattering on any level either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right, I got another one. Fine, but I wouldn't watch it many times. ... Guess how many stars?
4.
1.
Oh,
Fine, but I wouldn't
No,
watch
okay.
it many times.
One star.
So me and Ryan are on different pages right now. Like Ryan,
Yeah.
you're looking at like the audience scores, right?
Absolutely.
I'm
I'm like way deep in the audience scores looking for the wildest takes.
I'm not gonna lie, Ryan. If I
I'm
saw a
looking
review like that on Letterboxd, I would immediately go to that person's profile. I'm like,
Absolutely.
what are you? What is your star system? What have you worked out for yourself here?
I'm looking at the critic scores. So this dude Ian Gray from the Orlando Weekly said, in the end, all Stone really seems to be up to is using September 11th to again mourn the loss of mythical white American innocence for what one assumes will be a predominantly white boomer audience, and no
Yeah.
doubt turning a pretty penny doing it. Damn, Ian Gray, go off king.
God, when was that written?
2006, baby.
Oh shit. Okay.
Shit, there you go.
In Florida.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder how that went over. Does
Ian
he have
Gray
any bylines past
found murdered in
2006?
2007.
Yeah, right.
Let's take a look.
Okay. Okay. I don't
No,
understand this one at all.
2007 is the last ones.
Well, there
Okay.
you go.
None of this is capitalized. I love this movie! Exclamation mark. P.S. So bad. 4 exclamation marks. Sad emoticon. 5 stars.
Okay. So at least we've
What?
clarified something.
You mean that
This-
America's stupid as shit?
Yeah, this was made purposefully with a specific market share in mind to grab for the sake of money, which I don't know. I guess that means the terrorists didn't win because we even took their attempt to dismantle the American Empire and did what the American Empire does, which is make some fucking money off of it.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah.
You
So
like money? I like money too. That's wild.
yeah, I don't know what lesson to take away from this.
There
Don't
isn't
make
one.
this movie. That's the
Yeah.
one lesson. Don't make this movie specifically.
I really don't want to see any other movies like we have to watch fucking Snowden, right? Isn't that the
I
other
think
one?
that's
Yeah, we
at least
do.
got some promise compared to this because that's an actual story. Also, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's there. How bad could it
Hopefully
be? Pretty
it's
bad.
a story. I thought this was a story. How do you make a boring 9/11 movie?
Like this.
Exactly, but could you have envisioned that before you saw this?
Yes, I knew this was gonna suck. I knew this was gonna be boring dog shit for grandmas.
Oh yeah,
I was hoping for like a level of tone deafness that hit like B movie level. You know what I mean?
No, I
Like-
was 100% expecting that bit from The Simpsons where they're in the nursing home and they're all around the radio, and it's just that fucking dude from PBS being like, and that baby was Rush Limbaugh, and then all the old people fucking cheer and yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like overwrought to the point of hilarity. Honestly, that's what I was expecting.
yeah. No,
coming
this
into
was just boring.
I was expecting every single edge to be sanded off of the real events, and I got what I was expecting. I didn't want it, but I got it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't see it coming in this. I just I couldn't envision how they landed on this. Like
Oh, it's because they didn't want to offend anyone and they focus tested it to hell.
that it makes it less believable that this was the end product to me.
No, because they didn't ask people if they liked it or if they found it entertaining. They asked if this would offend them, and they took out everything that could possibly do that, is my guess.
Yeah, but it offends me.
Yeah, because we're not the type of people they pull in for focus tests. They pull in like fucking dudes that are drunk at the mall in their 40s at like 12 p.m. and like the elderly that go to the movie theater and don't care what they go to see. They just need to get out of the house. So on their way out of whatever matinee they're coming from, they get pulled into another fucking focus test.
This is an old person with a 5-star review of this is like loved it. Slept right through it in the theater.
Yeah.
Perfect for my Saturday nap. And now
Only
it's time.
cost me $7.
Now it's time to go to Applebee's for their $1 cocktail deal.
Yo, don't sleep on that.
Oh,
I
I'm
will
not. I'm not
sleep
even
on that.
joking. This is me shamelessly trying to get Applebee's to endorse us.
All right, you can do that. I'm never gonna say a nice thing about Applebee's though.
The dollar margaritas aren't the worst thing I've put in my body.
It'll get you drunk. Oh, I'm
All
gonna
their
take you guys
food
out
comes
for
from a
dollar
plastic
margaritas.
bag.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm gonna
eat
take
the
you guys out to
food.
Applebee's for dollar margaritas.
I'm gonna get very drunk and walk home.
There you go.
I have $100. Give me 100 margaritas.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah, that's an idea.
is that allowed?
I mean, they do it when they have the $1 tacos anywhere. I'll give them $100 to give me 100 tacos.
Damn, that is a good idea. That's just good business right
I
there.
feel like
It's
that's
good
such a
business.
power move too.
Just fill up this trash can for me.
It's Mac with the bag full of
Burritos. Yeah. And then just randomly just pulls out a needle and just injects himself with insulin and keeps
Yep.
eating.
You want some of this? All right, this fucking sucked. Rich, please.
Yeah, what do we got next?
Please tell me we have a
something
palate
that doesn't
cleanser.
suck shit.
I was busy trying to forget this movie exists. Let's go. Let's see. Hang on.
What does
Let's-
God say?
Let's spin the wheel of destiny here. Oh, the wheel of destiny is a little bit weird today. Ryan, I
Yeah?
think that this might be one right up your alley,
Oh, yeah?
but I don't know what it's gonna be like because it only has a 50-minute runtime.
Okay. I like 50 minutes after that. Give me 50 minutes.
Industrial Symphony Number 1, The Dream of the Brokenhearted, is a 1990
Oh, shit,
avant-garde
that's a
concert
Julie-
performance
That's a Julie Cruz fucking concert movie.
directed by David Lynch.
Fuck yeah. I think Laura Dern is also here from what I understand. I haven't seen
Laura
this.
Dern is here.
Fuck yeah. Okay, fuck yeah. I don't know if y'all are gonna enjoy Julie Cruz's sad shoegazy music, but I know I will.
I like shoegaze, so yes.
It's like fucking it's like 80s ass shoegaze shit that she lays down.
Okay.
This
Like some Cocteau Twins kind of shit.
bizarre.
This might be a perfect palate cleanser. It's 50 minutes.
It's a tie-in to Twin Peaks to a certain extent, I would imagine, since Julie Cruz is here.
Like, I'm going to assume I won't hate it, but if I do, it's okay. It's 50 minutes. At least it's short.
I want to know where the fuck Nick Cage is going to show up in this.
He's the heartbreaker. By the way, the character names in this are intriguing and haunting. So we got Heartbroken Woman, Heartbreaker, the dream self of the heartbroken woman.
Hey,
And
I found
my-
it on YouTube.
My favorite, the tall-skinned deer.
Ooh.
I
like
see.
that.
I only see the Woodsman / Twin A.
Oh, so this is just a fucking Twin Peaks spinoff, I guess. Weird.
The tall-skinned
Ooh,
deer.
Angelo Badalamente's got something to do with this too. I love Angelo.
This is going to be so weird. I'm very about this.
Oh yeah, okay. I did a little skip around on the YouTube that I found of it, and this looks like it's gonna be something I need to own physically, probably.
All right, this is a weird one, and I'll take it. I'll take almost anything
Literally
After-
anything after that,
except
Oh,
next.
except fucking Trespass, except G-Force, except Christmas Carol. Anything other than 5 things.
I would take literally any of those over this movie. This is the worst thing I've seen so far.
I feel like if I had something else I was allowed to do during this runtime, I'd rather watch this than any of those other movies.
But if you're not allowed to do it,
If I'm not allowed to do anything else, that's just based on the actual runtime of it, probably not this one. I'd probably
G-Force.
watch fucking no. I would not watch G-Force.
Well, G was
least
only like
you're
123
Tracy
minutes.
Morgan going, oh snap!
Okay,
But
but those
as a
120
hamster.
minutes are 120 minutes of like fucking screwdrivers going into my ears. Of my head getting pounded
Imagine
in
you're
with a sock
listening
full
to
of
a Black
party
Eyed
snaps.
Peas album,
I
but just
would-
one song over and over again.
I don't want to
'Cause
imagine
tonight's
that.
gonna
That
be a
sounds
good
like
night.
my own personal hell. It's
Oh, all right, fuck
gonna be
it.
my own private Idaho.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
While you're waiting for us to cover this movie that I guarantee you've never heard of.
And I think we're only going to be able to pull out like one episode worth of material for this.
We'll figure it out. We'll get
it's a
2
music
episodes
video
out of it.
from what I'm looking at here. It's a 50-minute music video.
We'll see.
We'll
see.
We'll figure it out.
While you're waiting to see how we manage that episode, follow us on social media. You can find us on X, XX at cagefight_pod. Yeah, I can't say anything good about the platform, but you can find us there on it. That's something. Putting out 2-star X's all the time.
I love our 2-star X's. Patreon.com/NickCageFight. $1 a month will get you, dear listener, every single episode without those pesky ads in the beginning, middle, and end. You can also listen to, episodes the same day, as well as behind the scenes riffing. You can also get bonus episodes. I haven't uploaded The Wrestler yet because I didn't realize that we talked about The Wrestler for 5 fucking hours.
Yeah, that's true.
So going through that has been a bear. I'm almost done, though. It should get uploaded this weekend.
The Wrestler coming soon.
Just let me do the edits on the Patreon shit, man. I can clown through it.
We talked about that the only reason I normally just put them right up.
Yeah.
But somewhere in the second episode, we did a lot of doxing ourselves.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
And this is a $5. If it was a $15 tier, fine.
If you pay $15, you deserve to stalk us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not even moderately know places we may or may not have been in the past.
Look, that's one hamburger for one of us a month. That deserves a stalking.
Yeah, if you're buying me lunch, you can know my general whereabouts.
Yeah.
You have a parasocial relationship with us for $15 a month. We're okay with that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's going up. It's just that editing has been, and not really editing, just taking out the bits of doxing us. It's almost worse than that time that Josh gave one of our Patreons a shout out and actually stated his full address on the podcast.
That was fun to cut around. It was real fun.
My favorite part about that was Ryan's face when I was saying it.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a pain in the dick. It was.
I'm sorry, you were doing just the
good.
perfect Mitch McConnell impression at the time.
He just stopped working for 10 seconds. Needed a system reboot.
Yep.
And to top it all off, I always have to bring this up every now and again. The biggest thing about subscribing to the Patreon is if enough of you guys do it, we get to torture Ryan because he's going to learn how to speed run the GeForce video game. And I want that so badly.
Yeah.
So badly.
We're still coming for you, Chris Gamer. It's just
taking that ass, Chris.
It's just taking longer than we thought. But we're coming for it.
It's okay. We're biding our time.
Hair. I don't have to go fast until we actually hit that threshold.
All right. So there you go. That's going to do it for us. We're officially closing the book on 9/11. We've solved it. It's over. No need to talk about it anymore. Thank you, as always, for tuning in while we muddle our way through the entirety of Nicolas Cage's filmography. And as always, listeners, we appreciate you.
A second bye-bye has crashed into the World Trade Center.